Look, you're not confident in your abilities because, quite frankly, you have no proof. You have this idea that if you just repeat affirmations in the mirror and just tell yourself every single day that I am great, I am confident, I am beautiful, I'm strong, I'm healthy, that one day all of a sudden you're just going to be confident. And part of the battle of becoming confident really is just believing in yourself. It involves mostly just believing in yourself. But the way people go about building this self-belief is all freaking messed up. They think it's just this false woo-woo talk in the mirror. And to be honest with you, that could work for a long time. And then all of a sudden one day, Mr. Woo-woo, Miss Woo-woo, confident I am affirmation, motivation girl or gal or man faces a real challenge. And this real challenge is going to demand a certain level of resilience. And if you don't have the proof that you can dig through this tough battle you're facing, you're going to give up. You're going to lose all hope. So what am I telling you to do? If you want to build confidence, if you want to be a confident human being, you have to start stacking evidence. Evidence is the second half of the equation. You can be all woo-woo and believe in yourself, but that belief has to come from evidence that you have built. You see, I love David Goggins, right? And he has this idea he calls the cookie jar. And the cookie jar, and by the way, if you don't know David Goggins, I don't know where you've been at, but he's the stay hard guy, the one that runs marathons and runs 100-mile races, ex-Navy SEAL, author, speaker, huge motivational guy, but also he backs that shit up with hard work. He is a leader, I think, and he has this ideology called the cookie jar that I'm about to go into here. And basically what it means is just a bunch of wins that you've accumulated over time, a bunch of proof that you've been in the situation that you're in right now, a stack of proof that you are exactly who you say you are, a stack of things that, quite frankly, you can't even deny. You can't look yourself in the mirror when you're about to face this challenge and not believe in yourself if you've done either the same thing or something close to it time and time and time again. You need to have this cookie jar full of battles that you have won, full of moments that you can look back on in a time of need. You need to have this mental Rolodex of accomplishments and difficult things that you've overcome that you can look back on when you are struggling to have this confidence, when you are looking at a difficult obstacle in the face and you don't have belief that you can actually complete it or overcome it. This cookie jar is what's going to give you that belief, that evidence that you can get through what you're trying to do, whether it's lose 10 pounds, whether it's get over the breakup of a girl or learn how to understand the passing of your mother. Some people simply just need to set the bar low enough, because if you're somebody who has never trained before, never even tried to get in shape before, your big difficulty, like the first thing going into your cookie jar, may just be saying no to the soda at dinner. It may just be saying, I'm not going to add 4 more packs of sugar into my coffee. It may just say, okay, today I'm only going to have half a slice of cake with dinner instead of a whole freaking cake with dinner. It may be that small. There's nothing wrong with that. And then there's some people that may be far more advanced in their development who can look at a slice of cake, even though they want it. They're like, dude, I said no for the past 10 years. Like, I don't need that. That temptation doesn't even plague their mind because they've stacked this win. They've overcome that battle so many times that it's not really hard to say no to the cake. They know they've done it before. But if you've never done it before, how are you going to have the confidence that you can walk past that cake and not take a bite out of it? So for the more advanced person, you may be trying to prepare yourself for the inevitable, which may be the heartbreak, the loss of a loved one, a financial hardship, and you're looking at your bank account and the bills you got to pay and something ain't adding up. That may be what you're trying to prepare your mind for. So how do you begin to build this self-confidence? How do you begin to arm your mind for the inevitable, or harden your mind to say no to the cookies after lunch? So first things first, you have to set the bar properly low enough, because the goal you can achieve today may not be that glorious. Like, if you've never exercised before, like, getting out of bed is going to be the hardest thing ever. Like, walk through those gym doors is going to be the hardest thing ever. So you have to set the bar low enough. If you go from I've never done anything in the gym and you're like, okay, I'm going to go lose 40 pounds and get freaking jacked. If you've never done anything, that is so overwhelming that the minute you start to visualize going out there and accomplishing this goal, you're going to be losing all hope because you have no proof that you've done something like this before. For example, setting the bar properly low may be a guy who's in his room, knows he needs to be better, And step one may just be making his bed in the morning. Like, can you wake up in the morning and just make your bed? Like, that's a low goal. And I know that doesn't sound like very much, but when you accomplish nothing, your cookie jar is empty, brother. So making your bed may seem small, but once you make your bed, you told yourself, I'm going to make my bed tomorrow morning, and you wake up and you get out of bed and you make that bed before you start your day, you can look back and say, wow, I said I was going to do that and I did it. So the next day you may say, well, there's that pile of dishes in the sink and I'm going to wash those dishes later today after I get off of work. And when you get off work, you wash those dishes. You're like, wow, I did what I said I was going to do. Few weeks go by. Next thing you know, your whole house is clean. You've washed the dishes. You've done your laundry. You've picked up the floor. You've done all this stuff and you have a clean home. But you see, if this guy woke up one morning and said, I'm going to clean my entire house, and he walked out of his room, beds, garbage everywhere, freaking old McDonald's bags over here, dishes piled up in the sink, there's laundry stacked and just falling out of the washer and dryer and the socks everywhere, he's going to say, oh yeah, I'm not doing that. It's way too overwhelming. So setting that bar low to the point where just making his bed is the only thing he's worried about, that's achievable. And now these marginal improvements can lead to bigger and bigger and bigger improvements until next thing you know, the ultimate goal is accomplished. Is this making sense? Now put this in terms of your health. You know, if you lost 40 pounds and added some muscle and regained that youthful energy you once had and you felt confident, you looked in the mirror and you just felt confident in who you are, and you know that you looked and you felt the best you could possibly feel, you know how much that would change your life. But when you start thinking about losing 40 pounds, going to the gym and training 4 or 5 days a week and eating clean and taking your health seriously, it just sounds so far out. It feels so far away that when you actually visualize this, you lose all hope. It's way too intimidating to attack. It's because you haven't built this stack of evidence, this stack of proof that's going to give you confidence in your ability to achieve this goal. So if that is your goal and you want to transform your physique, it's okay to put the ultimate goal of, losing 40 pounds, regaining mental clarity, regaining your energy, adding 25 pounds of muscle, and loving the way that you look and feel. That's okay. You can hang that on the fridge. That's fantastic, but that should not consume your thoughts. That should not be the thing that consumes your mind on a daily basis. What you should do is start by saying, I'm going to go to the gym. You're going to walk through those gym doors. That's step one. Like the process of losing that weight, building the muscle, building these habits, that's a long journey, bro. It's going to take days, weeks, months. For some of you guys, it could take up to a year to make that. Now, do I think it should take that long? No, you should do that in 6 months. Easy. If you put the right systems in place. 3 to 6 months, to be honest with you, if you put the right systems in place. But that's besides the point. Step one is walking through those gym doors. If you've never been in a gym, step one is doing that. So you go to the gym and beginning, you're doing, 2-3 sessions a week, maybe 4 sessions a week, and you're just doing 30-minute sessions, doing a couple of sets here, a couple of sets there. And I know when you're saying this, you're hearing me say this, you're like, that's like nothing though. That's so small. And that is the thing. You have to have the humility to set the bar properly low enough to where you can actually achieve it. And I promise you, once you start achieving these goals, you're going to have the confidence to go to the next. Next thing you know, a couple months go by, you're like, man, okay, I've been doing this 3 to 4 sessions, 30 minutes at a time. I've been doing this for a couple months now. I can add another session or two. So now you're going 3 to 4 sessions a week and you're doing 45 minutes to an hour sessions. You're starting to really push yourself. And after doing this for a couple of months, now you have the confidence to start saying, well, I've done this for a while. I've even done this on days where I didn't feel like doing it because I worked up to it. I didn't jump to this from day one. I worked up to it. And I have the confidence that no matter how my day goes, no matter what swings my way, I can stick to this. I've done this before. You have proof that you've done this before. So it's easy to you. So you're like, well, I think if I were to start tracking my macros and keeping up with my nutrition and taking the food and the fuel for my body seriously, I believe I could level up even more. And although that is a next step, since you've already been training hard and pushing your body and your mind to its limits and building up this stack of evidence, starting to track your macros and take your nutrition seriously doesn't seem that intimidating because you have the evidence. It's a far more manageable mindset because the platform you're standing on right now, with where you're currently at in your level of development, isn't much lower than this goal you're shooting for next, which is tracking your macros, taking nutrition seriously, starting to dial in your macros and stuff like that, so you can take this one more level up. It's not that much higher. But see, when you started, you were down here. No training, no evidence, nothing. So if you were to start here and try to shoot here, you'd give up. You'd lose hope because you have no proof. I hope I've drilled this into your head a lot. Say all the affirmations you want, but you have to have the evidence. And for me, the way I'm using this is right now I'm training for a marathon. The last time I ran a marathon was back in December of 2024. And that's when I was actually training consistently. I ran a 3:57 marathon, 3:56 and 50 something seconds, just say 3:57 marathon. And at the time, that was a great goal. You know, that I'd never ran one. So that was a pretty dang good goal for a guy that's also heavier, about 190, jacked, running this marathon. So that was a good goal. Anyways, I set the new goal of running a 3:40 marathon. 3 hours and 40 minutes is my goal to complete my next marathon, which is going to be in April, right? Now, if I have just looked at this goal, I'm like, man, 20 minutes improvement, a 20-minute improvement on this goal, keeping in mind that I only have 4 months to train for this because past 6 months, I've been training Muay Thai instead of running. So I stopped running for the past 6 months. And it'll be almost a year and a half since I've ran my last marathon when I run this upcoming one in April, giving myself only 4 months of training. If I looked at this goal and I said, yeah, I'm going to improve my marathon by 20 minutes, and I haven't really been training for the past 6 months, I'm only going to give myself 4 months to do it. That's a pretty lofty goal. And looking at it, to be honest with you, I'm not confident that I can complete that goal. I'm not confident that I actually can run a marathon that quick. But I'll tell you what I am confident in. I'm confident in the fact that I can run a marathon in 3 hours and 57 minutes. Why? Because I've done it before. I know what it takes to do it. I can look in my cookie jar and I can remember the time. I can pull out this time that I've done this exact feat. So I can do that. I know I can run a 3:57 marathon. So now I'm going out, I'm training. I'm like, well, I can do a 3:57. What's the next step? I can do a 3:55. So now I'm running my paces on a track for a 3:55 marathon. And I'll keep doing this. I'll keep making these marginal improvements. And once I fix my pace, or I increase to the pace of a 3:55 marathon, I'll start lowering to 53 or 54, and then 53, 52, 51. Next thing you know, 4 months from now, I'm running a 3:40 marathon pace. And that's because I had the humility to set the bar low enough and not automatically go shoot for the 3:40. Even though that's my goal, if I were to take off trying to run at that pace in my training, I'd lose hope because I couldn't do it. But I can do 3:57. And that's a low enough goal that I actually know I can achieve. So the point is that there is no way, if your goal is to lose 40 pounds, whatever your goal is, just substitute 40 pounds for building muscle or getting the new promotion or whatever you're trying to do. Substitute the 40 pounds for that. But there's no way you can lose 40 pounds until you lose one. Once you lose one, now you have the confidence to lose one more. And you won't have the confidence that you can lose 40 pounds until you lose 1 pound 39 times. And once you lose 1 pound 39 times, that last pound, that 40th pound, that's just like brushing your teeth. You've done it before. It's nothing scary. There's nothing intimidating about it. You have this stack of proof that you can do the habits, the daily habits. You can eat the meals. You can say no to the donuts. You can walk in the gym and get that workout in when you don't feel like doing it. You have this stack of proof that you can take the next final step to finally reach your goal. And I'll tell you what, you'll reach that goal and you'll realize that, damn, I have the confidence to do so much more now. I have the confidence to attack anything that I want as long as I'm willing to set the bar low enough. So you can brainwash yourself all you want into being confident in your abilities, or you can put in the work, set the bar low enough, and start stacking these small W's, these small wins day after day, week after week, month after month, until you have this cookie jar full of so much evidence that you are exactly who you say you are, that being confident is just a side effect. There's no way you can't be confident. It's impossible for you to not have confidence if you have a stack of undeniable proof. So I want you to make it a habit to remind yourself of the evidence in your cookie jar, the wins in your cookie jar, instead of the imaginary results that you've yet to achieve. You build belief through action. This action is going to create evidence. This evidence is what you need to truly be confident and not be a hypnotizer, a hypnotist of yourself. Build belief through action. Build a stack of evidence that nobody can deny, not even yourself, and you will be confident. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it, and I hope you come back to the next one. Elijah Bryant out. If you need some more advice, if you want to join my weekly newsletter, I'm always spitting deep into the mind. If you like reading stuff, I kind of talk about this same idea every single week on my weekly newsletter. A little bit more articulated, takes about 4 or 5 minutes to read if you like that instead. But anyways, check the link in the description if you want that. If you want to join my email list, get some free stuff there. Otherwise, I love you, and I hope I see you in the next video.